Home prices here in the central Okanagan started off strong for 2024, but will that trend continue, or was that just a dead cat bounce?
A dead cat bounce is a brief and small recovery in price, followed by a continuation of the downward trend.
In this video, we're going to look at what happened in January with home prices, what's happened in the past, and what I think is going to happen here in the next little while. If you're new to the channel, please drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and if you are looking to buy or sell a home here in Kelowna or the central Okanagan area, I'd love to help you out. I have left a link down below in the description where you can book a one-on-one appointment with me there. All right, so let's have a look at what happened with single family homes here in the central Okanagan for January of 2024. So last month, it ended out prices at $989,000 for single family homes. That was only up a couple percent since this time last year. We were at $967,000 to start out January of 2023. Then we had a little bubble, if you want to call it a little bubble throughout the year. In August, we peaked out at just under 1.1 million. And again, is this a dead cat bounce, or is this a trend that we're going to see, at least to start out the year for home prices? Are we going to see a little increase here in the next few months leading into spring? My guess is yes. It's typically kind of what happens in the spring with our spring market here in the central Okanagan. And just continuing with single family homes, let's just look at some price changes over the years. So if you purchased a home 5 years ago, your home price is up almost 50% during that time. Now, obviously during the pandemic times, prices went up dramatically. As you can see from the graph here, we peaked out in March of 2022 and then came down drastically as those interest rates went up, and then kind of had a roller coaster of home prices since then. But we are down quite a bit, and I will mention that in the next slide here. I'll give you a little breakdown of that as well. Now, if you've owned a home we'll just go back here, for 3 years here in the central Okanagan, you've seen around a 23% increase in your home prices. And then a year ago, home prices are only up 2.3%. 6 months, we're down about 7%. 3 months, 3.5%. And a month ago, we're up. We have that little tick up of 2.4% since December. Now, if you are a buyer in this market, and we are in a buyer's market right now, you're seeing about, on average, between 5 and 6% off of the list price. So buyers do have a negotiating power right now, but as interest rates, or if and when interest rates do come down, will that continue? I don't know. We'll have to see in, people are saying April-ish when rates might come down, but only time will tell if that actually happens. Now, if you're thinking about putting your home on the market this spring, or you have your home on the market right now and maybe it hasn't sold in the first 20 or 30 days, that's because the average days to sell right now are 76 days. Now, this is obviously an average. Some homes take longer, some homes sell right away. There are a few homes that are priced correctly. The sellers are motivated to go. It all depends on each home's specific situation. But those right houses still are selling quite quickly. But overall, what we're seeing is the average days to sell is 76 days. So over 2 months, your home could be sitting on the market before it receives an offer. So depends on your situation, but jumping right into lowering a price, of course, if you have to, you have to. But if you're patient, you might see that right buyer come by, as the buyers are slowly starting to come back to the market over the past few weeks. I've slowly started to get buyers I've been talking to last year send me messages saying, hey, I want to go look at properties. So that's a really good sign as it leads up here into the spring market. And lastly, just months of inventory. We're at just over 11 months of inventory, which is a buyer's market. And months of inventory just means if no other homes hit the market as it stood right now, it would take around 11 months to sell off what is available right now. And lastly here for single family homes, just a quick look at what's happened over time and where we're sitting. So again, in January, at the end of January, we're at $989,000 for price. And that leads us all the way back to October of 2021 for home prices, or just over. We were at 988,000 at that point, and we peaked out in the market at, it was just under $1.2 million in March of 2022. And if you're waiting for house prices to come down, they already have technically since March of 2022. We've seen about almost 16% decrease as it stands right now. Now let's go into the townhome market. Benchmark price for townhomes as it stands right now is $728,000 for a typical townhouse here in the central Okanagan. And again, that's basically like single family home. We're around what we were in January of 2023. Just up, what was it, 1 year? We're down almost 1% there from 12 months ago. If you owned a home, or if you owned a townhome for at least 3 years, you're up around 20% there. And just like single family homes, you're way up if you've owned for 5 years or more at 44.7%. And a few stats here for townhouses. So back to September for 2021 prices. So just like single family homes, we're all the way back before all the prices skyrocketed. So we're not quite back on those prices, but we are seeing, again, if you're waiting for prices to come down, they already have as well for townhouses. The list to price ratio, so if you are a buyer for a townhouse, you're able to negotiate on average around 3% off of the list price. Days to sell, similar to single family homes, you're in the 70 days range to sell a single family home. And again, we're in a buyer's market for months of inventory, or for the townhouses, at 10.5 months. And last but not least, we have the condo market here in the central Okanagan. So benchmark prices have come down roughly 2% in the last 12 months. So we're at $485,000 for a typical townhouse here, or sorry, for a typical condo here in the central Okanagan. And what $485,000 gets you is a condo, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, newish. I'd say within the last 10-15 years you could get a condo for that. I always kind of think of the Verve when I think of $485,000 for 2-bed, 2-bath. Great location if you are looking. And if we look at some historical data here for the last 3 years, if you've owned a condo, you've earned or gained around 27% there in value. And 5 years, you're up about 37% in the condo market. And lastly, for the condo market, we again, just like single family homes and townhouses, they're back to those late 2021 prices. We're at right now is about 485,000, and then we're right back there toward between October and November of 2021. Now, if we look at some quick stats here for condos in the central Okanagan, average right now for buyers, if you're looking to buy, you're negotiating around 4% off the list price, so we're at a 96% price ratio. Days to sell your condo, if you are a seller, is around 2 months. And months of inventory, just like townhouses and condos, townhouses and single family homes, we are in a buyer's market, and condos are a bit lower at just over 8% months of inventory. Now, speaking of condos, we do have some short-term rental restrictions coming into place here in Kelowna. I did mention it into a video here that I will link up there. Basically, they're eliminating, or the city is eliminating, all short-term rentals as secondary properties. So you can't buy a condo and rent it out short-term anymore. They're completely eliminating that. So we might see a flood of inventory hit the market, which might bring condo prices down a little bit just during the short term anyway, while all those owners, I would imagine a lot of those owners would want to sell off and not be long-term landlords, but time will tell with that. Those rules do come into play in May, so my guess would be March, April, we'll see those condos, if those owners do want to sell off. That's when we're going to see a big flood of those that condo inventory hit the market. And that does it for my market update here for the Central Okanagan for January of 2024. If you get any value out of this video, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and if you are looking for an agent here in Kelowna or the Okanagan in general, I'd love to help you out. I have left my link down below where you can book a one-on-one appointment with me there. Thank you so much and have a great day.